Your boy, the war in the DMV. And this man right here, Michael Mason, man, was the yummy dash the Marlo Mike of DC, man. This man was going around. Man, this man done spanked 7, man. 7. He's allegedly 15, man. Ain't that crazy? Pretty much, man. I'ma get into it. So pretty much 3. It was 3 he was incarcerated for, right? They released him due to the coronavirus. And normally, you fighting 3, man. You gonna sit down, man. You gonna drink some water. You gonna chill. You gonna sit in the house, probably call your little legs over. You hear me? Get rid of boing yoink sugar booger, man. And cool it out while you wait on the box. Allegedly, they let that man out and he went to go slide, man. This kid was, how do I put it, man? Not to say this man was just like terrorizing the city, man. He was terrorizing them, yeah. I don't care what nobody say. That man right there, go time. Thought it was over. No, it got real. Nah, it was go time with that little man. Including in those documented murders, man, was 5 also documented non-murders. He got 5, man. They know about 5 attempts. They know about 5. You hear me? This youngin' was out there on some, I don't even know. You can't even compare it, man. This youngin' was just different. And you feel me? He started when he was apparently 15, maybe even younger. Forwarded to 2022, man. These killings happened and apparently he requested bond and no, not bond. He requested like a release from the prison, and the judge said, "Hell to the nah, to the nah. You was not getting no public release out there." And he also has a co-defendant. Him and his co-defendant total apparently the 7. I'll get into that, and I will also get into the documents that also have just been released on the case. But pretty much, he was clicked with the Avenue section of Simple City, allegedly. Man, this kid was something different, man. When I say to imagine to be a kid, and instead of hopping on your PlayStation or hopping in your Xbox, you hopping in that free con, you are literally terrorizing the city. It's just crazy. Update except for 2025, man. And pretty much, man, he is apparently suspected of killing Antoine Roach, who was apparently just coming home from a murder himself, man. This shit is crazy, man. To think kids in the city out here are running around and just out like, doing this stuff at an early age, man. You think that they would, yeah, you grow into it, but you expect them to grow into them type of people later on in life, man. This is very traumatizing now. But from what it says, he lived in a very nice community in Waterfront, D.C. while he was, out there sliding and providing. He was going home to a nice area. What I also failed to mention, there are also 5 other co-defendants on this case, man. It's getting crazy. On my next slides, I'm going to be reading the paperwork to you guys on what is currently going on with Michael Mason, man. I definitely pretty much just updated y'all with everything, man. And that kid right there, man, is the reason why we need more youth programs in the DMV and why we need more youth outreach. Because At the end of the day, we need people telling these kids that there's other ways and there's other solutions, man. Getting these kids into boxing and sports and other things to try to find a way out instead of, entertaining the stuff that, slowly but surely tears down our community. The witness suspect and identified that's, pretty much Michael Mason. By way of clarification information, the defendant was released from detention on March 27, 2020. When arrested on outstanding custody order, the defendant was arrested again on June 17th on an arrest warrant. Shortly after being placed in the room, he responded, "You know the deal." And just pause it and continue to read. Pretty much, he was incarcerated. He got out on COVID, like I explained earlier. And, he was convicted of another murder, you feel me? At first, he was like, take me, I'm innocent. I don't know nothing. You hear me? He ready to go, you hear me? And pretty much as you keep reading, man, later in the interview, the defendant stated that he was in the car with, the other defendants and some females in the front passenger seat. And the defendant was seated in the middle back with some females. After admitting being present at the time of the shooting, the defendant first stated, everything that happened, pretty much. But I don't know, man. This is just the stuff. I want y'all just read it for yourself. Maybe take the time to pause. Never would have made it without you. Yeah, just take the time to pause and read. Never would have made it. Keep pausing and taking the time to read this. This is some interesting stuff, y'all. Even though your thuggin' days are gone, I still hold your name forever. Live on. Ride around with no destination. No, I don't got no home. Ain't where you gon' forever live on. Ride on your name in all of my songs. Hey, wicked, ooh, yeah. But pretty much, they're comparing the shells, the shell casings and everything. I believe they found a shell casing with certain calibers used in certain homicides in the car. And pretty much it gets very steep. If you didn't like the cut of me reading, I didn't want to keep, mumbling over it. But back to the story, man. Don't laugh at my reading, y'all. This ain't no read along. This a niggamentary. What you talking about? But nah, though. Like I was saying, man, pretty much, man, I don't see the problem with Michael Mason. I see a youth that has been exposed to a lot of elements of the streets early on in life, man. And I feel like it's a lot of more youth just like this kid right here. And a lot of people don't talk about him, man. And all it takes is for one person to sit there and reach out to the youth and just sit back and talk to them and let them know that it is another way, man. It's another way, man. Because by the time you reach this point, it is already too late, man. Now, these guys, it can go either way, man. But I don't see it going good, man. See, a lot of people think that juveniles and being a juvenile means you got an instant trip home and they're going to keep letting you come home. Eventually, they're going to create laws to hold juveniles, man. And we got to talk about this type of stuff now, man, before it's too late, man. These kids are throwing opportunities away left and right, man. He could have been the next basketball player. Who knows? He could have been the next artist. He could have been a governor, man. You see, we don't talk to these youth. We don't sit here and listen and talk to and try to figure out what these kids aspire to be. And that's a huge reason why these children don't realize their full potential, man. That's why I feel like the real key is we can't change our communities until we change ourselves, man. But we have to talk to these kids, man. But he's currently fighting those charges, man. Honestly, my opinion, it's about 5 of them on the case. It's about 7 murders and 5 attempted murders, man. I don't know how this is gonna go, man. I can't. All I can say is, I hope that while he is in there, he has time to pray, he has time to reflect, and he has time to ask God to get him through them situations. Because as a juvenile, man, it is terrible to think that you will spend most of your juvenile life in a detention center. It's not cool. It's not something that I feel the youth really should get bragging rights for. I feel like it's something that it takes a piece and time of your mental, your mentality. You have to adjust. And at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of the juvenile detention centers, their rules and what happens is very different from what goes on in prison, which also creates a false narrative for the kids, thinking, oh yeah, prison's not going to be anything when the whole time prison is like times 10 and unfiltered, and there's no, we can save the youth. Nobody's trying to really save you in prison. You have to want to save yourself from that type of mentality and that type of world, man. But pretty much, y'all, it's the boy, the war, and the DMV, man. And this was the Michael Mason documentary, man. If I got y'all with the singing in the middle, man, I got y'all next time. I'm gonna get one of them little narrated junks. That way I could y'all like stretch it out or something. But I ain't gonna be reading and skipping over words and stuff. Y'all be wanting people skip over words. I ain't about to be skipping. Y'all be laughing like, ha ha ha, you read like this. And nah, man, I heard worse readers than me, man. But I'ma say that for another story, man. But it's your boy, the War in the DMV, and I am out.